All right, Reggie here. I am joined today by Anthony from Red. How's it going today?
Going good, man. Real good. A little early, but it's good.
Yeah, that's true. And you guys are doing a headlining tour right now with We As Human. First off, I had a chance to catch the Indianapolis show a couple weeks ago, and holy crap. Wow. Talk about a great show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. How's the tour going for you guys so far?
It's going good, man. It's we're getting our feet wet again in the club tours and stuff. We haven't done this in about a year and a half or so. Last record cycle, we did a lot of festival things. We didn't play a lot of shows last year. We did about 80 shows, give or take. So that's not normal for us. Usually we're in about the 150 range. So, it's it seems 80 shows doesn't seem like a whole lot, but if you think, there's only 365 days in the year and we're gone only 120 days as opposed to 250 days, it's a big difference. So with counting days off, we'll play around 150 to 175 this year. So, yeah.
Man, you guys as a band, you guys are always on the road. You guys are always playing some... Even if you guys have a month or two off, you're playing some random festival somewhere, you're doing a huge tour.
Yeah.
You're doing the Winter Jam thing almost every year, it seems like, whether it's East Coast or West Coast. You guys are you're a touring band,
Yeah,
great
we
music,
definitely are.
Great music, great records, but Red is definitely a live band that you've got to check out. I'd imagine when you get home and you're just, sitting around doing nothing, it's just got to drive you crazy after a while.
Yeah, man. We don't spend a whole lot of time sitting around. Even when we're home, we're doing something that involves, the band. It's just, nowadays you just, if a band wants to make it, you want to be relevant, you got to work hard. And I think, this is all we do. This is the only job we have. This is what we set out to do, and we know that it comes with a lot of sacrifice and things that but it's also very rewarding. There's a lot of things we get to do that people don't get to do and see and experience. So we put everything we've got into it, and I think that the live show that is a reflection of that for sure. So.
Definitely. I was at the Indy show. You guys also played, of course, the old National Center here in Indy is one of my favorite places, but you guys also played one of my other favorite places probably in the country, and that's Pierre's up in Fort Wayne. And that place is insane. There's never a dull show there.
It's that venue's actually had some hardships. They had a big fire that ravaged half the club, so it was that was a tough show. Yeah, we didn't realize that the club was nearly burnt down, and they had some really bad weather coming through, stuff like that. So that was one of the more miserable shows for us on this tour. But they were definitely happy to have us there, but it was just it was, like I said, it was not the same Pierres that we remember, but they'll come back bigger and stronger than they ever were. I'm sure they're working on rebuilding the place now. So
definitely. I was up there for Seven Dustic last month, and I know the bar and grill next door had burned down, and so I'm sure that damaged part of the building. Just sad to see. You guys are supporting, of course, Release the Panic. The latest album came out in February, debuted at number 7, sold 41,000 units, and man, it looks like people are buying music again. Thank God, finally.
Well, we'll see. You never know. I mean, we're still, you obviously still see that. I think once people understand that if they're not going to buy music, the music's going to disappear because bands will just not have the means to make music and record music. It's not a cheap industry, by any means. But there's just in the last decade or so, there's just been no value in music for people, and it's we don't understand. We don't understand why all of a sudden, I guess it just kind of proved what humanity is capable of. If you give them something for free, and it shouldn't be free, but they have the ability to download it or get it for free, they're going to do it, and that sucks because guys like us, this is our livelihood, and this is what we do. We put everything we've got into it, and for people to just take it from you, it's tough. So, to see people that there are people out there that are willing to buy the music, we love that. We're very thankful for that. So we hopefully we're seeing that change. But You never know, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's just something about, buying the music, and digital is cool, but there's something about having the physical copy, the hard, fresh, right off the press, having the booklet, everything. There's something about it that it's altogether, you can't duplicate it completely. There's just a feeling that comes with it, and so hopefully that comes back. But yeah, I mean, along this headline tour, in a couple weeks, we got the festivals coming up. We got Rock on the Range. We got all of them coming up. The last time you guys did Rock on the Range, I think was End of Silence had just come out, and Breathe In was just hit the radio, and a little bit different this time around for you guys, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. We've been asked to come back a few times, and we've been too busy. We haven't been able to book the show because we've already had, prior obligations. So this year we made sure our management knew that we wanted the date open, and if we were offered that we would take it, right away. So we just we adjusted our approach a little bit, to our touring, and decided on doing certain places and certain tours, and it just never hit the radar for us. Rock on the Range is, I think, in our eyes, the biggest rock festival in the country, period. And it's probably one of the biggest in the world, no doubt. You got all the overseas festivals and stuff that are massive, but here in the States, I think it doesn't get much bigger than Rock on the Range for rock bands. So it's a cool moment for all those bands that are part of that bill. It's good to see that rock and roll is alive and well, and there's 65,000 people there, in support. So we definitely enjoyed being a part of it. But to be back, with a brand new record and a single that's moving up the charts, and it's a whole new live show. I think as a band, we're a better band, or a better group of guys. The chemistry is even more intact than it ever has been. We'll go back to Rock on the Range and do big things.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's almost like every record cycle, you guys get more, more finely tuned. And it's cool to see, because I saw you guys on Winter Jam 2011, obviously third album cycle. And then every tour, every festival, every tour cycle, it just keeps getting better. You guys add more to the show, pull out even more songs, and there's just something about it that every time it's even more impressive and even better every time, I think.
Well, thank you.
What's really cool about Rock on the Range this year is there's a decent amount of Christian bands on this lineup on the bill this year, more so than previous years. I mean, Red, Skillet, Thousand Foot Crutch, Love and Death. It's kind of cool to see, Christian rock finally,
I think you might have covered up the receiver. I can't really hear it. I hear you very well now. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there's Love and Death, you guys, Skillet, Thousand Foot Crutch. There's a lot more Christian bands on the bill at Rock on the Range this year than there have been on previous lineups from previous years. It's really cool to see Christian rock finally, breaking through to another level, and getting the recognition that it really deserves.
Yeah, I mean, I think that at the end of all of it, if you're asking any one of the bands, that you just mentioned, what's it like to be part of a Christian band and part of Rock on the Range, and we're going to say, well, first of all, we don't really consider ourselves a Christian band. It just depends on who's asking us. We're a group of guys that are Christians that are in a band, that make music. We don't necessarily want people to focus on the fact that, is that the term that separates us from everybody else? It's exactly what it does. It separates, us from all the other bands because, they're Christians. They're probably not any fun. They're probably not a good band. They're not this. They're not that. It's like, well, we'll go into it with the, with the label that we're just a rock band and give them everything we've got. And then they find out later that it's a group of Christian guys that write music about their lives and about their faith. People are blown away by that, at first. But at first they hear Christian band, and there's a lot of people are really apprehensive to give us a chance, or give other bands like Love and Death and stuff a chance. But it's just cool to see things happening though. To see those just I guess you could quote unquote our type of bands on the bill. But it's cool to see Brian get back with Korn. Yeah. And what he's brought to the back to the the Korn camp and just rock music in general is really cool.
Yeah.
But his side project, Love and Death, was very small and upstart in the quote unquote Christian music scene. So it was just cool to see him doing big things and cool things, and if that's what that's the kind of thing that helps people pay attention and show some sort of relevance to this type of music. Like I said, it's really hard. I always am apprehensive to say something like that because it's for us, it's just music. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as Slipknot. It's the same thing as Marilyn Manson. It's the same kind of thing. It's music.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether the content may be different and the livelihood of the band may be different, but all in all, it's just us making records, and we just want people to hear our music. So,
definitely.
But it's definitely easy for people to label it because it just it gives Christians some sort of safety net. That they're a Christian man, I can listen to them. They're not going to be bad for me, or that type of thing. So,
and a lot of Christian, especially Christian rock now. I mean, to me, I think there's almost more substance and more. There's better lyrical content, and it's about more than a lot of quote unquote non-Christian secular. I guess if you want to use those terms, but I mean. A lot of people don't realize that how deep and actually, very good the lyrical content of a lot of Christian rock and metal is. It deals with a lot of, everyday problems,
Yeah, man, I think people for the most part get focused on the musical side of things, like how do the songs sound, and they always say that a Christian band, if you will, is a carbon copy, a really crappy carbon copy of a mainstream act, and it's just like, well, from the very beginning, we were going to make sure that we proved that was complete crap, and that we're going to do our own thing, and that's all there is to it. So, we've seen a lot of bands emerge that are, that have their own thing going, that are, they're fresh, that, that have something to say, and the lyrical content, is a reflection of that. So, if you're gonna hate on a band for being, a group that likes to, talk about positive things, or even, as Red, we dive into the negative things. We dive into the dark places. We're just, that's what music is for us, and what rock music is in general is, it's truth. It's real life. It's the real deal. It's not this, bubblegum pop stuff. It's just, blah, 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 blah. It's the real deal. It's like, this is what I'm struggling with. This is, the depth that I'm in right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, anytime somebody, thinks that Christian rock is, bubblegum and all that stuff, like you said, you delve into some of the negative. I mean, just look at the lyrics from Faceless and Damage and all of those songs, and, they're not exactly, especially Damage, not exactly positive. It's about dealing with some very negative parts of life, and a lot of people don't realize that that's a very big part of the Christian walk and Christian faith and the life. It's not easy.
Yeah, we got. I mean, it's not. What's funny is it's not the easy road. It's really not, because you've got that much more. If you choose a certain life, it's the life that we've chosen. It's not an easy road whatsoever, and I think that a lot of people think it is. And it's like, we couldn't be surrounded by more crazy people. Christians are not. We're not good. We're not good people. What I mean by that is that we're just like everybody else, and that's what the song Damage is about. I don't care if I'm saved by grace or whatever. Damage. I'm gonna do damage. Period. And what feels like it's even worse because I'm a believer and I shouldn't, necessarily do these things. I still continue to do them because I fall short, and and the things I do are damaging. But I think that the redemptive side of that song for us is that it's not about the damage that we've done. It's about the repair. It's about what we do to change it, and that's how it, our faith and our character, is defined.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And so I guess maybe, I don't know if you get this question a lot, but if you were to encounter, I'm sure you have, somebody who maybe once, is a Christian, has maybe fallen away from their faith, is questioning, or has maybe lost it and just doesn't really see any hope of, regaining it or coming back, what would you say to that person?
I'd say just hold on and don't let go. A lot of people are so willing, and it's the path least resistant. It's hard to be this. It's hard to be a believer. It's hard to be, and I mean, it's it's tough. It depends on who I'm talking to, but I think in general, like, you know, being a Christian, it's easy, but it's not easy. And I guess as a believer, and having been a believer for so long, and, you know, especially in the music business, you know, we get to see the dirtier side of, you know, all this stuff. You know, it's a business, you know, so it's like, you know, where does our faith, you know, fit into all that? And it's like we have to navigate through all the bad stuff, and so people can see the genuine, you know, the genuine nature of the guys that we are in our faith in general. And you know, I would tell those people to just, we talk to them every single night in our shows. There's a lot of them in the crowd, you know. It's just, you know, we have a song on a record about that. It's called Hold Me Now. It's like, you know, you're ready to just fall off the edge, you know, and you need someone to grab on and just say, it's going to be okay. You know, this is gonna work. You know, the battle is already won, period. So, you know, like I said, a lot of people are willing to throw in the towel, and we're just not willing to do that, you know, regardless of how much damage we've done.
Right. Okay, cool. Finally, after watching the set here in Indy, it looks like you guys played virtually every song that is either popular or it seemed like you guys did like 5-6 songs on every record. It was insane. Personally, every song I wanted to see you guys do, you did, and more. Is it one of those things where you sit down and it's like, we have so much material, how do we pick? Let's just do it all.
It is. Those strategy sessions are actually kind of comical because, you know, as a band we've had a lot of success, man. You know, in the general market we've had 5 or 6 singles that go to radio, and 2 of them have gone top 10, and right. You know, so we obviously want to play the songs that people know us for and you know, remember so well. But on each record, I mean, you know, in this neck, we've had 17 #1 singles, so it's like, I think, something like that. Right. So it's like, wow, how do we play all of those songs and make everybody happy? You know, or do we step back, take the best of what we've got, what we feel like we've got, artistically step back and say, I think with this would fit well here, and create a live show. You know, create, you know, those moments for people in a live setting that are, it's going to be a roller coaster ride. You know, put together a great set that's going to be, you know, it's going to mesh well together, because the new record sounds a little different than our other 3 records. You know, it's got a little bit different twist to it. And, you know, even though there are songs that sound like our other records, because that's the kind of band that we are, that's the sound that we love, you know, we chose to do some things that were a little bit more stripped down, because, you know, that's kind of the theme of the record. It's about panic, it's about frustration, it's about fear and confusion, and there's not a lot of time for anything else, you know, in those moments. You're just screaming, you know, get it out, get it out, get it out. You know, you don't have time for anything. So, you know, we try to blend all the songs together the best we can to make it a huge, live, crazy, you know, I gotta come back. You know, I gotta have more of that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the only thing that, you know, that was missing was the fire. But on that stage at Deluxe, you were probably going to burn that building down on how small that stage was. But you made up for it. They did make up for it with some insanely blinding lights at the beginning of the show. So it was just fun. I know Tech Nine was playing on another stage, like right above, and then you guys were like, and the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, I wonder if the Tech Nine fans can hear this, and I wonder what they think. So it was a great show.
Thank you.
So yeah, and you know, I really want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me. It's been great.
Yeah, man, of course.
Well, thanks a lot, and we will see you at Rock on the Range in about a week.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, you too.
See ya.
See ya.